Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Skylines series, more or less, Rule Japan. Today we're in episode 10 and it's kind of like an anniversary once again. We've once again reached 10 episodes and yeah, today it won't be anything interesting, so I'm sorry this is not the interesting video. Main reason for this is I simply didn't have any time to record more as school is finally now back into its normal kind of like way and it's quite stressful as it's my last year, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to do that much for Skylines. Although I'm already working at something bigger that is a temple, so yeah, this is a thing to watch out for, but this still will take me several episodes to finish off, I guess. Or maybe it will also just be that there won't be a video for 3 weeks and then it will be the temple video, I don't know, it will be something like this. You would see it afterwards. What we are doing today is we are expanding the downtown area and also we're kind of like marking off some spots in the downtown which will later on just simply be some suburban areas as they will mark kind of where the downtown will end, and yeah. The main purpose of them is to kind of like cut it off, I would guess, and this is just the main reason for them. The road that I built in the first place, the one kind of like mountainous road, this is just simply one to kind of like corner off where I want to build today. This is just a marking for myself, and I did this as this is kind of like a good way for myself to do that. And this is at a point where the steepness of the mountain is already quite high, so this is the reason that I did like this. Here I'm using the network multi-tool, I think it's called NMT, and I have to say this is incredible. So NMT is really a blessing together with IMT and Node Controller. These mods are literally changing the game. When I think about how it was quite hard to do this before the mods, it's now way easier to do the stuff to make it highly detailed. So yeah, I'm very thankful for these mods, I guess. So what I'm doing there is just I'm marking off the grid layout, and this will be a one-way system here going down there. Just as I would assume this would be kind of like a realistic one-way system in our town. Here I'm marking off which ones will be the bigger roads and which ones will be smaller roads, just for myself to see where I want to make a bigger density area and stuff like that. So yes, also this episode is a bit more cut together. I cut quite a lot of parts out because they were simply uninteresting to watch, so I hope that is okay for you. It's just a thing that I think that is good for us, as you don't want to see everything, I guess. Also, this was the main reason that I first initially didn't want to upload this video, as this is simply a filler episode, but I figured out I want to upload at least something because I won't be having much time in the next time to do anything more than this, so we will see how it goes with my time and where I can maybe find some time or can make some time, because yeah, this is kind of the thing that I think is very important for myself. Here I've collected a lot of residential and commercial buildings that I want to build there, and how I'm doing this is basically I'm starting off with the biggest ones, the ones that you will definitely be seeing in the skyline, and afterwards I'm building in the smaller ones that are just filling in all of the areas. This is just kind of like my way of building it, and I think it's quite a good way to do. It's one of the ways where I feel quite safe about that it might be looking good. And for this one, I'm using, I think these are the Osaka apartments, the Osaka buildings, I think. Therefore, very grateful. Thank you very much, Bird, once again for your help there. He helped me out quite a lot of this downtown, as I'm not that much of a downtown person, as you may know from the last series, and all of them, I basically dodged building the downtown the whole time. This time I thought I want to give it a shot, and I'm actually quite enjoying this, so we will be making quite some downtowns in this map, I guess. The downtowns will definitely follow the highway here, and they will go over to the other next river, as I think the sprawl would be kind of cool to look at, but at the same time I don't want to kind of like stretch my city that extremely. I will try to make it at least look somewhat naturally grown, so it would be expanding every single kind of like direction and not only in the one of the next sea, because this would be rather unrealistic, I would say. I will try to keep a somewhat a realistic matter in, together with thinking of I need to have a train line going through the downtown, as trains are mostly one of the reasons that a city is where it is. Either it is a train or a kind of like wandering route where the city is getting built, so this is something I need to remember when I will be expanding this. as I might already have to tear down some stuff that I would be able to place a railway, but I think that this would be fine. It is still a thing that I will need to make a layout of in Affinity Design, I guess, where I would just simply mark myself off where it will be. But yeah, we will see about this as soon as I will be doing that. This will be quite a big one afterwards, so yeah, this is definitely the thing to look out for. Here we once again now have a jump into the future, and there I'm already starting the detail first buildings, and these ones are rather weird ones. They are very expensive ones on the mountainside. There will be more of them, but these were just kind of like some tests if it works out for me, and yeah, the style is quite good, I guess. Also, it is not too easy to build them, and this is the main reason that I want to build them, as I simply don't want it too easy for myself, because then I would get bored rather quick with it. But yeah, so for this one I'm just kind of like going for a simple theme of first of all trying to make them a parking lot, but they will be having some prop grass and just some dirt assets. So we'll be using the prop grasses. This is kind of like a steep hill that I'm building this on. I think this one has the normal Ronix one, as you can see there, and then I will be switching off the other ones to the prop grasses. The prop grass can align to the ground, and the prop grass is from Bidelmo, sorry. And this is just an incredibly good asset in my opinion. I kind of like the aligning one, as this makes it way easier for me to kind of like detail something, and it makes it quite quicker. And yes, they're just adding in some weeds for the extra detail. I love to add these weeds, as these weeds are just simply so good. They are not from Bidelmo, I think. Just search for weeds and then you will find them on the workshop. They are really, really good, I think. Here, these are the smaller kind of like ground converting ones that I'm using, and these are the weeds that I meant. It is kind of like a very easy way to detail, and it's making quite a realistic Japanese look. It is also surprisingly working with the ground that is kind of like only this gravel ground, and this is normally one that I would immediately delete, but for this one I tried it out and I'm surprised it is working. I might be even eventually be using this more over the next videos. And yeah, here you can see it wasn't aligning, and the main reason for this is it needs to get to ground level and then it will be aligned, but it's kind of an annoying thing, I would say. So just search for it instead of copying with move it. In this case you can use it easier and more freely, I would say. Here once again marking with the weeds where no person will be going, and so kind of like to make kind of like some pathways in a quick manner. And yeah, squashing in some smaller buildings, some not so wealthy ones, I would say. Well, they are still wealthy, because when you are in Japan and you have a house like this, you're still hella wealthy, but they're not as wealthy as the other buildings there. I wanted to say that. Here we are now in the kind of a downtown border, which I basically skipped the whole building process of it. It's just simply me copying something over and over again. I'm just showing you the detailing of it, as this kind of like makes the big impact. Also, these pines might not be the most realistic ones, but I have to say I like them quite a lot. They make quite a good change to the eye, so I think I will be keeping them. I might be doing some kind of like these royal garden stuff. This might be built somewhere next to the river, as this will be some of the things that will be close to the river, as they were quite old, and as you already know, as I already talked about, towns mostly got established next to rail lines or to streets or to mostly goes on rivers, as per river you could get there by ship, and this is one of the kind of like main reasons that people would live somewhere to get there quickly. And yeah, this is why this is basically occurring. Little bit of a history lesson there, I see, as you. Here now we have kind of like this backyard thing for these living apartments. They are not the worst ones. I actually think that they are from the Dungy housing project, but I'm not sure about this, so don't count me in on that. But I think it would be kind of like this, in this kind of like amount of time where they built them, and this timeline of the Japanese history, I would say. Here you can already see I filled in a lot of the places. It is just me now detailing all of them and just trying to get around with cheating a bit there, as I don't want to use so many props, but sadly the spaces are all too small as I'm making custom gardens there. We can use the bigger ones for mountains afterwards, I guess, but yeah, for now it's fine. The FPS aren't too bad there. I already had them worse because I built it several times. The first idea of it was quite bad, but now it is working out like it should. This is now definitely better. And yeah, this is definitely something that I like that I found out the mounting press, as this is quite helpful for me. Here we are now building a fire station depot thing, as I have my fire trucks and placing normal trucks to make kind of like the storage area. And now we're just adding in a big wall so that you can't see in there. And now we'll be just adding in some bushes and some trees. I think we're only adding trees, sorry. Just kind of like for some cooling effects, because trees are having the very good thing of cooling down asphalt, so that's why I'm using a lot of them, and I'm maybe also overusing them for this kind of areas, as I would imagine it will be hella hot in there, as this is poor concrete. So I'm trying to break it up a bit with some trees and some planters. So this is just what I'm doing there. I like giving people trees in the game, as this gives kind of a detail without using too many props or stuff like this, so this is what I'm doing there. Just for the overview look of it, they improve it quite a lot, I think. Also, these are all some very narrow streets, and this is on purpose, as I think this will be kind of like this very narrow space. This would be hella expensive to live here, I assume. The more poor apartments will be getting in built somewhere down the river, I guess. This is also a thing that I'm the whole time already thinking about where to make the poor areas and where to make the rich ones, as this is a thing that I always try to get right, but mostly get wrong, and yeah. Here, these are the fish market buildings, I think, and they are perfect for under the highway, as they have the perfect height, and together with the warehouses, you can just kind of like make quite a good looking thing here, and the warehouses can be placed under the highway, like it looks like they are the wall for the highway, and it's just a roof between it. So this is just a cool thing. Here I'm now building something I'm not sure of. It's kind of like this poor area. This might be deleted, I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you think about it. I'm still not sure about it, but we'll be seeing about that, I guess. And yeah, I will leave you for now. We're just gonna be doing some more detailing, and I would love if you would show me some feedback and some support if you enjoy what I'm doing. The easiest way and the free way to support me is to give this video a like. It is also, together with subscribing, currently the only option for you, as I don't want to do something like Patreon right now, as I feel like I don't want to make paid content, as I feel like it should be free for everyone. And yeah, so if you want to support me, please subscribe to me if you haven't already, give this video a like, and definitely write a comment if you like what I'm doing, and if you have an idea what I can do, or if you just want to tell me anything, just write it down in the comments down below. I love to read them, and it's always very nice to get comments from you guys. So yeah, thank you very much, and hopefully see another video of mine. Bye!